Hi, I'm Teguh Ariefianto. Now I'm going to present about the stages of language acquisition for the task of the final exam on psycholinguistics. Okay, here we go for the definition first. Language acquisition is a process that can happen at any point in human life. However, when we talk about the first language acquisition by a child, we refer to the process or way by which children learn their native language. There are four major stages of language acquisition. They are the babbling stage, the holoplastic stage, the two-word stage, and the telegraphic stage. We move to point one, the babbling stage. The baby begins to recognize its mother's voice within a few weeks of being born. Within this period, there are two sub-stages. The first stage occurs between the time of birth to 8 months. In this stage, the baby learns about its surrounding and doesn't begin to use its vocal until the 5th or 6th month, down to the 8th month. During this time, the baby hears sound around it and tries to imitate them to a little success. This attempt at creating and experimenting with sound is what we refer to as babbling. The point two, holoplastic. The one word of holoplastic stage is the second stage of language acquisition. In this stage, the child begins to make one-word sentences. In the holoplastic stage, nouns make up 50% of the child's vocabulary, while verb and modifier make up about 30%. The remaining 20% is made up of questions and negative. In this stage, children use one-word sentences to obtain the things they need or want. However, most of the time, they are not obvious. For example, a child will cry "mama" when it just wants attention. Once the baby can speak in successive in one-word sentences, then the baby is ready for the next stage. The point three, the word stage. Just as it implies, the two-word stage is made up of primarily two-word sentences. The sentences in this stage contain one word for the predicate and another word for the subject. For instance, doggy eat for the sentence, the dog is eating. In this stage, we see the appearance of single modifiers. For example, that's book, two-word question. For example, daddy sleep. And the last point is telegraphic stage. This stage is final stage of language acquisition. This stage is called telegraphic because it's similar to what is seen in telegram, having just enough information for the sentence to make sense. In this stage, the child's sentences contain maybe 3 to 5 words. During this stage, there are certain times the child begins to see the links between the word and object, and therefore overgeneralization comes in. Here are some examples of sentence in telegraphic stage. What is name? Mommy eat apple and she's dancing. In this stage, the child vocabulary increases from 50 to over 13,000 words. Toward the end of the stage, the child will begin to make attempt to get a grip on tense by incorporating plurals and joining words. In many ways, a child grasps on language seems as though the child just learns its part in random order. But this is far from true. This is a particular order of speech sound. Children begin by speaking vowels with the rounded O and S. The consonant come after the vowels. Example of the consonant include P, B, M, T, D, and K, and also G. These consonants come first because they are easier to pronounce than some of the other. For example, S and J. This is because S and J require specific tongue placement, which children are unable to do at the age. Like all human beings, children will improvise something they are unable to do. For example, when they come across a sound they find difficult to pronounce, they will replace it with a sound they can produce. That's it from me. Thanks for watching and listening my presentation. And yeah, bye.